Alright, what's going on, guys? Woo-wee. Man, I had a hell of a week. Check it out, though. I got a Zelda rug to replace that old shitty red rug that I've had for years. That thing's a piece of shit. For some reason, it just, sucks everything that's dirty and disgusting on the floor to it. It was just... I was fed up. I was vacuuming it, and a lot of the dirt wasn't coming off of it. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? So I got a lint roller, right? And I started running it across the surface and just kept pulling up tons of cat hair and just it was becoming a motherfucker to clean it. So I got tired of that shit. So I got this mat I found on eBay. It was Zelda themed, so it was cool. The quality's not as great as I was hoping it would be, but I think it'll last just fine up here, so... Cool shit. Pretty badass. Anyway, but yeah, I had a hell of a week. My goodness. My goodness. Yeah, what did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, a bunch of crap. Now before I start the video, I might be misleading or inaccurate or just plain straight up wrong about something that I say here. So that might be a thing, and if it is a thing, I apologize in advance. I mean well. I'm not here to deceive you and fuck you over or manipulate you like right-wing grifter trash would, okay? Just have to get that out of the way. Anyway, so yeah, first thing I want to talk about is Bezos in space. Yeah, can you believe this shit? This is fucking stupid. There are actual human beings that we share the planet with who are actually stoked about this. They think it's like humanity, progressing, moving forward, breaking new ground. This is a good thing. In the future, it's going to save us all, that kind. There are people who actually feel this way. Now, what Bezos did is something that humankind has already done close to 70 fucking years ago. Seriously, the first guy to almost get into outer space was this guy named Yuri some Russian dude back in the fucking 50s, dude. And then Bezos does it just now, and we're supposed to be impressed? Are you fucking kidding me? So I'm sorry, but if you're one of these fucking BKs, one of these scrubs who actually finds this impressive, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot. And Bezos is a piece of shit. You shouldn't be licking his boots for nothing. If you are a piece of shit. And you're fucking stupid. And you deserve to die young, and you should kill yourself. Now I want to talk about the Switch OLED. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that bothers me that Nintendo didn't put out a 4K 60 frames per second beast of a console. But, I can understand how expensive and difficult that is to get into a handheld, portable little thingamajigger, and Nintendo doesn't really care that much about power and frame rate and whatnot. They haven't really given a fuck about that kind of thing for over a decade now. They focus more on, the art styles, gameplay, that kind of thing, innovations, And maybe they should stick to that business model since it's clearly working pretty good for them. And as a true gamer, I don't really obsess over graphics and fucking... frame rates and shit, I'll play games from 30 fucking years ago. I don't give a flying fuck. So, if I like the game, I like the game. If I don't, I don't. Little detailed things like how the frame rate works and visual cues, it doesn't matter that much compared to, having fun. I know some people will argue that they can't have fun unless they have amazing visuals and groundbreaking controls, but... not controls, I'm sorry, frame rates and visuals, but, those people are kind of fucking stupid. No offense to them, but, think about that mindset. That means only the good games are the newest games all the time, but once they become old, they're shit all of a sudden. Like, what? Like, you do you assholes even hear yourselves? Like, you dickheads, I know from time to time you'll bring up nostalgic feelings from 10 to 20 fucking years ago and be like, oh yeah, that was a great game, I really liked that one. Yeah, well, I guess today it must be shit now because its frame rate isn't 60 fucking frames or higher or whatever, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, these people obsess way too much over stuff that's not really a big fucking deal, you know? But I can understand. I used to be kind of like these assholes, so... Yeah, but no, you shouldn't care too much about that kind of thing. It would be nice to have it on the Switch, sure, but, you know, do you absolutely need it to have a good time, you know? Like, you can't find yourself constantly wanting and craving the best of the best 24/7, you know? Like, you don't want to be that gamer that's constantly spending full price, day one, on all kinds of goofy shit to the point where it's largely not going to improve your gaming experience, not by very much. You know what I mean? You shouldn't get too crazy about that stuff. Because like I said, before you know it, you'll spend a fortune and you won't have that much of a better gaming experience than a lot of other people out there who spent way less than you. Just saying. Just saying. But anyway, the Switch OLED, a little disappointing that it's not more powerful and whatnot, but, you know, for somebody like me who's been wanting to get a Switch, who's been waiting, I'm kind of tired of fucking waiting for a Pro model, so this thing I think will suffice, so I'll probably get it. And if they release a Pro model in next year or the year after that actually does have 4K and all kinds of stuff, then, you know, fuck it, I'll get that too, I guess. Maybe I'll get a modded one of those or something. Who knows? We'll see what the future brings. But I was thinking that maybe it's kind of a good thing, actually. Because think about this for a second. And I'll use Halo Infinite as an example. Let's say I'm playing Halo Infinite on a bare bones 2013 Xbox One, right? Now let's say you're playing Halo Infinite on a high-end PC or an Xbox Series X or whatever it's called. Well, clearly you're going to have an unfair advantage against me. Your copy of the game will run smoother on your high-end PC or Xbox Series X. It will. And for me, playing on the shitty original 2013 Xbox One, yeah, I'm clearly going to run the game shittier, and it'll look crappier on my shit. And then let's say we go head-to-head and fight in a match, and you just kick my ass because your game runs a lot better for you, and for me it runs like dog shit. So, you see what I mean? That can be a thing. So what if they did that with the Switch, you know? Like Smash Brothers players playing on OG Switches versus new Switches. That might be a bad thing. So maybe it's better that the console stays relatively the same in terms of playability and frame rate and, you know, graphical clarity and whatnot. You know what I mean? Just saying. I'm just fucking saying. And I'll use this as an example. Perfect Dark 64 versus Perfect Dark 64 the remaster on Xbox 360. I'll tell you right now, if we had to fight 1v1 and you were playing on the laggy-ass frame rate dog shit N64 version and I was playing on the remastered version that runs really smoothly and looks a lot more clear, I bet you 9 times out of fucking 10 I'd kick the shit out of you in that game if I had that advantage. And yeah, you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. So I think it's best, at least with like online competitive games, that you know, what am I trying to say? Everyone's on a relatively equal playing field, you know? That's what I'm trying to argue here. If somebody can run the game a lot better versus someone who can't, then that's not fair. It's just not fair, dude. Straight up. I mean, it's already bad enough that some people have, like, laggy internet and other people have great internet, and the people with great internet tend to do better online, but... you know what, just forget everything I just said. Fuck online competitive gaming anyway. It's pretty much a joke anyways, right? I mean, they ask for online fees. They throw a bunch of bullshit microtransaction advertisements at you, and advertisements for stuff that you shouldn't even give a flying fuck about, like goddamn Doritos or Red Bull or some shit, you know? Fucking constantly pressuring you, throwing ads at you when you go into these games. You just want to fucking play your fucking game, and here they are throwing all these advertisements at you and shit. That's fucking stupid. Like, yeah. And let's get real. Competitive gaming, whether it's online or at tournaments or just in your own home with your friends and family or whatever, let's get real. In the grand scheme of things, on the large scene side of competitive gaming, it's really not about seeing who's the best or anything like that or having fun. No, it usually just boils down to fucking name-calling, childish hatred towards one another, and, of course, corporate greed to sell Red Bull, Dr. Pepper, Doritos, you know, stupid shit like that. Like, that's what bugs me about competitive gaming. A lot of it is artificial. A lot of it is not trying to find out who the best is or just to have a lot of fun. No. It's about making money and being hate-filled towards one another. And that's just shitty. A lot of the time, competitive gaming just boils down to just that, you know? Greed and cruelty, you know? It's sort of a human condition. A lot of people have this problem. The will to dominate and lord over others. And online competitive gaming, it kind of does that, you know? It kind of makes you feel power over other individuals when you beat them in these online games, right? Like, I know the feeling, man. I played Halo 3 and Halo Reach religiously when that shit came out, you know? Like, fucking, for a solid decade or a little bit longer, I was an Xbox Live Halo whore. You know? Completely into it. So I know the feeling of beating the shit out of other players online and owning them, and especially if they're good and it was like a real neck-and-neck match and it was down to the fucking wire and you barely won through the skin of your teeth. That feeling of, oh my god, I fucking did it. You know? Like, I get it. It's exciting. You know, you love it. But a lot of the time it does bring out a real hateful, nasty, trash-talky side, you know? It's true. And it can get the best of you. And it got the best of me, and it turned me into a real shithead for a while, and then I had to fucking slow down and look in the mirror and be like, am I really happy? Like, the game's become a lot, like, super repetitive to me, because I keep playing it, and, like, I'm just looking for people to beat the shit out of and be a dick to, and I'm constantly, like, looking for arguments, constantly looking for other players to get into it with, like, kind of becoming a shithead, you know? So maybe that kind of behavior isn't the greatest, just saying. But anyway, that's my take on consoles releasing more powerful editions of their former selves, you know? I don't think they should be too much more powerful. That's the point I'm trying to make. To the point where they give you unfair advantages against people with lesser powered consoles. Just saying. Maybe it's not a big deal, and it does depend on the game. They do kind of make the game so that isn't really a problem and doesn't really matter. Hopefully Halo Infinite will do that. I wouldn't put it past them, though. They tend to fuck everything up. But whatever. I think the Switch OLED is a fine enough thing that they're doing, I guess. I don't really care. Hopefully it works out good. But it is funny how some of the Nintendo fanboys are just like, how could you, Nintendo, you let us down? And it's like, they never ever even fucking said that they were working on some kind of Switch Pro model or had plans in the future. As a matter of fact, they've put out article after article saying, yeah, right now we don't have plans to talk about anything like that or unveil anything like that, sorry. Like, they're literally telling you that they are not gonna do that. And then, when they don't do it, you get mad, even though they said that they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I can understand being a little disappointed. I mean, it's a wish list thing. You wish that Nintendo would do this, but you know, when they're saying that they're not gonna, and they haven't for years, yeah, you really have no excuse to be upset or anything. You know, maybe a little disappointed, sure, but like to rage online, fuck you, Nintendo, like. Dude, whatever. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, we got the what do you call it? The Valve Steam Deck. I've been calling that thing the poop deck ever since I heard of that fucking name. Its fucking name is terrible. But the console does look cool. The gamepad, it looks cool. It's got like back paddles. I like that. That should be fucking standard on controllers 15 goddamn years ago or some shit. Some shit. Seriously, like, good lord, it's depressing that that's not a standard now. Like I've been using the Vantage Scuff 2 controller on my PS4. I know that controller got some hate because a lot of models of it were trash at first, which is bullshit. I'm not going to disagree with that, but I got one that works good, and yeah, I love that fucking controller. I love the back paddles. I've really become used to making that my go-to sprint button now, so whenever I need to run in a game, I just hold down one of those back paddles. Or even better, if the game has toggle sprint. I love toggle sprint. If you're going to have sprint at all, make it toggle, please. So I just tap it and now I can run. I hate having to fucking hold it down. That is strenuous, especially long periods of time. Especially my old man fingers getting all weak and shitty. Having to hold down a button like that for extended periods of time is kind of fucking stupid. I'd much rather prefer I just have to tap it and then let it go. Cock-a-doodle has figured this out. Come on, Final Fantasy VII Remake. What the fucking fuck, right? Anyway, yeah, just a little rage there, sorry. But yeah, the poop deck, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it apparently can't run too many modern games as of right now, and the battery life situation, hopefully that works out better. I heard it was shit, and then they had another article saying that it's not shit, so I don't know. Figure it out, Valve. But yeah, I might be interested in getting that fucking thing. Because I'm not much of a PC gamer, and this thing is like a PC gamer's wet dream in the palm of your hand, so maybe I'll check it out one day. And of course there's the PS5. I'm still not sure if I'm going to get a PS5 or not. Maybe I'll wait until a Pro model comes out. But they are putting that Elden Ring game out next year, and that looks like it'll be worth checking out. So, I don't know. We'll see what prices are and whatnot. Right now, you still can't get a PS5 easily without paying a scalper an extra $300. So, did I say PS3? I meant PS5. My goodness. Sorry, guys. I just woke up, and then I had the shits, dude. I had to take a nasty diarrhea shit. It sucked. I had pizza last night. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to gross you out. Moving along, Sekiro. Yeah, I just beat Sekiro. I finally got into the game, finally got a chance to get into it and play it and whatnot. I played it about a year ago, and I wasn't really into it, to be honest, and it was really fucking hard, so I just sort of dropped it and picked it up later recently, and I beat it, finally. Yeah, that game's fucking hard. It's much harder than the Dark Souls games, but like, it's harder in a way that I find fucking annoying. Like, when I say hard can be a good thing, but hard can also be a bad thing. And in this game, I think the hard is a bad thing, unfortunately. And this is what I'm saying. Before you gamergating, gatekeeping, elitist douchebags out there fucking jump down my ass, I gotta say, like, Don't fucking tell me to get good, scrub, okay? I beat the fucking game. Eat my shit. What I'm saying is it's the kind of hard I don't appreciate very much. It's the kind of hard that's repetitive and boring as fuck. Admit it, assholes. 90% of the difficulty from Sekiro comes from timing deflects over and over and over and over and over and over again. It becomes a fucking chore. It becomes a fucking boring nightmare, honestly. And it doesn't register that great. I had to plug my controller in and stop using wireless because, yeah, you kind of need your inputs to be very precise, you know? So that helped, I noticed. And when I first started playing, I was using a converter to let me play with a 360 controller. I don't know, something felt a little not precise about it. So I ended up going with something that's actually, you know, legit designed for a PS4. So yeah, I used the Scuff controller, and that made the experience a little bit better. But I don't know. All the Souls games sort of have hit detection issues when it comes to animation. Admit it, motherfuckers. Fucking admit it. I hate it when you bitches won't admit this. From Software games have hit detection issues according to the animation. And what I mean by that is, enemies that look like they fucking missed you will often hit you anyway. Admit it. Fucking admit it. You've seen it a few times in at least every From Software game, right? Where an enemy like let's say you're this guitar body, and let's say my hand is a sword swinging down right here. It's clearly fucking missing you, but the game will a lot of the time just be like, yeah, it hit you. Admit it. That's a thing in these games. It's annoying. Admit it. But anyway, I found that kind of annoying about the game, that you have to deflect all the time. That shit sucks. I found a lot of other things about the game fucking annoying too. Where do I start? My goodness. Where's our cool armor at? Like in the Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, you got all these rings, all this armor, all these shields, magical spellcasting staffs, and effigies, and all kinds of weird, goofy shit. I don't know. The list goes on. I can't remember. There's so much in those games. Why can't I roll dodge? Like, is Sekiro a fucking moron? Does he not know how to roll out of the way of stuff? I'll tell you right now, that Sekiro guy would die a lot less than twice. Yeah. Anyway, but whatever. They wanted to make it harder, I guess. Where's the co-op and multiplayer element? The fact that that's not in the game kind of sucks. Why can't I knock enemies off cliffs and shit? That's one of the funnest things to do in Souls games, you know? You got the, "This is Sparta" kick, you know? You get to use that ability in the Souls games. It's not in Sekiro. That sucks. What else? Let's see. Let me think. Yeah, the canyons that you swing around on in the game, from tree to tree limb with your grappling hook, they all look kind of the same and are kind of hard to remember and easy to get lost in those parts of the games. I can't remember any of that unmemorable as fuck tripe, you know? And same thing with like the cave areas in the game, all that shit looks the same, dark, and I can't memorize it at all. It's not memorable for shit. Everything else about the game, though, other than those caves and those canyon areas, is beautiful and very memorable, so I'll give the game that. Oh yeah, the Shinobi arm. Pretty much all of its features are fucking useless in the game, except for the firecracker. That thing stuns just about every enemy in the game, which is helpful. And the spear is pretty good for like kind of keeping enemies at a distance and wearing down their posture. That's useful. Once you get the spiral spear upgrade, it's really useful. The umbrella is useful for area attack enemies, you know, that can protect you from that. And then the firecracker. Everything else I noticed is pretty fucking useless, or like maybe useful in like one fucking small section of the game. So yeah, that's dumb. The vast majority of enemies in the game, they're just like dudes or like bigger dudes that look like big angry babies with hammers or whatever. So that's kind of lame, you know? I expect more enemy variety. Let's fight a bunch of weird monsters, you know? Why can't we fight a bunch of weird monsters? There's hardly any of that in the game. Or when you do fight a monster, it's a joke. It's like an attack dog that you can kill with one shuriken, or a gecko that you just stab on the floor. That sucks. Make them tougher and make them more varied, please. Yeah, the camera, it does freak out, especially if you're pushed into a corner. So yeah, a lot of the game is very fast-paced and the camera doesn't seem to keep up sometimes. Yeah, all the combat arts are basically useless, except for maybe the Emochin double. But that one kind of takes a charge to take effect, so it's easy to fuck up with that move. So the combat arts are basically useless. The spirit emblems, like, why can you even buy them? Like, you end up collecting so many that you basically have unlimited. It's kind of stupid that that's even a thing. Skill point farming is such a chore. It takes forever. The grind is just fucking dog shit. The katana thrust move is useless sometimes, especially when the camera is kind of spinning or moving quickly. Like, you'll often bounce off an enemy rather than stab them, it feels. That brings me back to what I was saying, like the wolves, the geckos, the chickens. Why are they bad guys in the game? And why are they so easy to kill? Why are they even there? I don't even get it. Oh yeah, the Headless and the Ichan Warrior dudes. Fighting them is a slog, and it's very luck-based. It's very fucking stupid. Yeah, a few other enemies in the game are honestly pretty luck-based. Like, that's what kind of sucks about From Software games. A lot of the bosses and enemies that you fight, they'll choose random attacks to spam at you. And a lot of the time, beating them kind of just feels like luck. Like, oh, I was lucky. The enemy just so happened to spam mostly easy-to-avoid attacks. Because of that, I won. Versus, oh, I lost because he just kept using his cheapest moves. Great. You know what I mean? Like, that is kind of a problem. So, you can't really, like, talk shit about someone's skill level in these games. Because a lot of the time, it depends on how lucky the boss was, too. You know? Like one time I saw Sean playing, his lady friend, I forget her name, the British lady, really nice lady. But she's not very good at Dark Souls. I'm overall better than her at the games. But she did beat Sif, the dog with the sword in his mouth in Dark Souls 1. She beat that motherfucker on her, like, 5th try or some shit. Like, that shit took me, like, 50 tries. Not gonna lie. Granted, Sean was helping her and giving her tips, and I was a complete fucking scrub with no one helping me. But still, like, she was able to do that. But then, like, other bosses, she got completely fucking wrecked over and over again, and I was able to beat those bosses on my first try. So, you know what I mean? So, like, how do you fucking critique that? How do you say who's better, who's worse? You know, maybe it's more complicated. Maybe it's more than just black and white, you know? So anyway, but yeah, those are my complaints about Sekiro. I didn't really care for it that much. I played New Game Plus a little bit, and I was sort of getting into it, but I wasn't really feeling it, unfortunately. So, yeah, it is possible to like a game that's good, that's difficult, but not like it that much. Like, I'm sorry, this FromSoft game is probably my least favorite, I'd argue. I think I love Bloodborne way more. I love Dark Souls 1 and 2 way more. Dark Souls 3 I didn't like as much, but I still like it more. So yeah, I would probably rate Dark Souls 1 is the best. I think that's the classic. Then Bloodborne. Then Dark Souls 2. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but you guys gotta understand. When Dark Souls 2 came out, I lost my job, and my dad recently passed away, and I was having a lot of trouble in my life, and that game finally came out after playing Dark Souls 1, and yeah, sure, a lot about it I didn't like, but I don't know, it was a time in my life where things were really shitty, and I just sort of locked myself in my room and played the fuck out of that game, and I dug it a lot, honestly. Some parts of it were fucking stupid, I'm not gonna lie, But I liked it, and I was really good at it, and I kicked the shit out of a lot of people in the game online, so maybe that also explains why I liked it so much, because I was really good at it. It's probably the Souls game I was best at, so, you know, if you're really good at something, that can sometimes make you like it more, you know? Like, Smash Brothers is a good example. Like, when my friends first got Smash Brothers, I played it at their house, and they kicked my ass in the game, and I didn't like it very much, and anyway, eventually I got the game myself and started practicing, and I got real good at it, and I beat the shit out of all my friends and everyone in my school at it, and I started to like it a lot more just because I was so fucking good at it. Kirby and Star Fox, man, they're the best characters. Especially Star Fox if you're more skilled. But, so whatever. But yeah, that Sekiro game, even though it's not a bad game, I liked it a good bit. It's still kind of, you know, overly hard, overly repetitive, kind of boring, and kind of bare bones, kind of limiting, you know? The replay value, it's not really there. Like, In the Souls games, like, even after I beat the game, I feel like still unlocking trophies or achievements and collecting items and finding out, like, different combos of armor suits that I can wear to kind of give me a different feel and different advantage in certain areas of the game. And it's just sort of fun to fuck around with all the different combinations that you can come up with. But you can't really do that in Sekiro. That pretty much is all out the window, so that's limiting, you know? That's just less content, you know? It kind of sucks. So, that's how I feel. But yeah, assholes, just tell me to get good and stop complaining, right? Even though I bet you I'm fucking way better at a lot of games than any of you assholes are. The Gamergator anti-SJW Nazi bootlicking type gamers out there, swear to God, 9 times out of 10, they are fucking shit at video games, dude. They fucking suck dick. How many alt-right bootlicker type gamers are known for being badass at video games? Huh, guys? Is Ludwig one of them? Is Ninja one of them? like, no, dude. Not really. Not really. Anyway, so yeah, I've been playing that Star Wars Fallen Order game. Yeah, that one's not bad. It's got a few, like, glitches, and I saw what Jim Sterling said about it, and yeah, I gotta kind of agree. The game does feel like EA trying to be like, hey, see, we're not that greedy. We can make a decent game. And it's like, yeah, of course you can. You're a giant evil corporation capable of throwing unlimited money at a game project, basically. Like, I'm glad that they didn't fucking turn it into a microtransaction shit pool, so that's good. But, you know, fuck EA, that's all I can say. But I'm glad this game is not bad, and Respawn did a good job, so that's cool. It's a fine enough game, I like it. It just, you know, makes me feel awkward talking about it because EA's name is on the box. Same thing with Sekiro, you know? Same thing with, like, the Final Fantasy VII Remake with Squaresoft's name on it. Same thing with, like, Last of Us 2 with Naughty Dog's name on it. All these games are from companies that have engaged in some nasty fucking microtransaction bullshit on different projects. But with these particular games, they didn't do that. So, you know, I tip my hat to these games. Good job for not engaging in wallet rape bullshit. I'll support that shit. I will. I'll play it. I might not buy it at full price necessarily, but eventually I'll try those titles. But if you throw in the microtransaction hogwash, I'm not even gonna bother, man. Why should it be my job to feel pressured into paying way more money and looking up all the fucking hogwash that you've added to the game? Like, that sucks, dude. I hate that feeling where it's like, oh, I want to get this new game. Okay, how do I pay for it? Oh, all these little tiny payments here and there, this and that. This little thing goes with the game. That little thing goes with the game. You can get this edition, that edition, this other edition. What the fuck? This is too complicated. I don't care. Bye-bye. That's what happens. That's what fucking happens to me when you assholes do that for a game. But if you release a game and it's like, here's the game. Here's what it costs. Bye. That's it. If it's like that, then I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. That works. Here's a video game. Not a cash grab. So anyway, and last thing I want to talk about is status-obsessed idiots. If you're one of these people who's obsessed with looking popular, being rich, feeling good like that, you're an idiot. There's more to life than being consumed by stupid shit like that. Just saying. So anyway, guys, that's it, and I'll talk about more shit later.